Hey guys, this is probably going to be one of the last of the regular video lectures just because I'm straight up running out of ideas. I got two things I want to talk to you about today. First off, let me give you an update on the Michael Rosen situation. He has agreed to let me interview him. I am in contact with him on my professional account with Georgia Southern, so it's an EDU account, and he's talking. He wants to answer some questions. I'm going to hammer those out, and let me explain to you how important this is. First off, the Wired contributors that I've been talking to, they're still there, but they're not biting like I hope they would. So let's just go for this. I'm going to ride it, and I'm going to do the best I can. But the thing about Michael Rosen in this situation is that he wants to talk. Now, Rosen is a voice that might give this piece much more weight than it would normally have. So even though this was kind of a heavy event that happened to you guys, this might ultimately help me get this article get published to get you some attention. Okay, so I might be able to turn this into something that can benefit you. So I will try to keep the conversation as public as I can. I'd love to blog some of the questions, and I'd love to have a more public conversation with him, but you guys have to understand something right now. We need to treat him with kid gloves because he's doing us a huge favor. By agreeing to this, he is actually, potentially going to bring much more attention because he's a guy who has a lot of followers. He's a big academic out in the UK, and this helps us out. I mean, normally if I was to hammer this out in an article and I was just talking about you guys, it's interesting. I love it, but I'm not sure what kind of editors will jump just at that material. But now that Rosen has gotten involved, we've got this issue with this clash with the community. It makes for a great introduction, and it makes for great material to talk about, some of the conflicts with this. This is fantastic. So if you guys want to do me a personal favor, I know a lot of you don't like me out there right now, but if you guys do me a personal favor, please try to be nice to him. Stay away from him for a little bit until I can get this locked in. All right. So thank you. Anyway, this is the final point I want to make to you guys. It's obvious that my presence here has upset a lot of you, and I get questions every day. What do you think this movement will turn into? What do we do? Do we still call it this? Will we still be able to make these videos after it goes mainstream? Let me stress something to you guys. Categorically, you do not need me at all. I'm just an anomaly here. I mean, you guys are bigger than me. You guys are smarter than me in a lot of ways. I mean, I'm trying to give you a little bit of, academic advice, and I'm trying to open your minds a little bit, and I'm trying to get you to think in more constructive terms about the work that you do. But you guys would I would be willing to stake like thousands of dollars on the fact that you guys are going to find success regardless of anything that I do with this account. Really, I can't answer a lot of your questions because at this point, you guys have already answered me, in that assignment that I did, which I want to apologize for the assignment because I know some of you were like, I don't like that very much. And I understand why, because you guys have an attitude towards requests that I didn't fully understand, so my bad. But the funny thing is it wasn't even just the anger at the assignment that I got when I talked about it. It was that, hey, we've already done that. That's old news. And that's when I realized, I can only help these guys out so much. There's not much I can do. And I think that's something that you guys should, very much consider. Again, I've showed a lot of your videos to colleagues of mine. They're excited just because they have never seen work like this before. So even though, even though there's not a lot of precedence for what you do, I want you to know it's spreading. And I saw in the news video that has seemed to be like a busy year, that a lot of people have been acknowledging you. That's probably only going to accelerate as this moves forward. All right, so I mean, you guys just hang on. But one other thing I want to address is that no matter what happens to this movement, please understand, for those of you who want to keep your remix freedom, who just want to post to the public, who don't want that mainstream access, who are resistant to that, no, that will never change. There will always be a place for the work that can't quite be classified, and there'll always be a place to go where people can create art and create these things just for the fun of it. I mean, think about it like this. It's just like poetry, and I know I need to shut up about poetry, but just because poetry has become a mainstream thing, less now because, who the hell reads poetry? But even though poetry has its heyday, there are still plenty of people who write poetry in the privacy of their own home and share with their friends. And, no one can take that from you. Don't be afraid of the changes in the community because, there's a good possibility that like the YTP MV genre could go somewhere. There could be a whole sentence splicing genre that goes somewhere else. It could all branch, it could all diverge in all these different directions, and they can all become different things with different identities. This will never die. This will never go away. What you guys have is sacred, and no one can take it away from you. All right? Don't be afraid. I mean, all the changes that are coming, you will always have your space to do what you want to do and to have it how you want it. And people like me coming in from the outside, we can't change anything. Okay? I mean, this stuff will happen on its own. And that's the real message I want you guys to get from this lecture and from this series. I'm here and I'm barking all this crap at you. Who the hell am I? You're the ones creating. You're the ones making new genres. You're the ones basically reinventing the idea of artistic consumption. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and tell you what the title of my article is going to be so you can look out for it. The title will be The Remix Rats: Life in the Age of the Culture Hacker, or The Dawn of the Culture Hacker. That's what you guys are. You're culture hackers. And, it's funny because hacker has become a pejorative term. It's something that we use almost like, oh, it's evil, it's bad. The people who crashed Visa and MasterCard, they're hackers. That's not the original definition of that word. A hacker is just someone who takes a system, breaks it apart, rewrites it, and makes it do something other than what it was originally intended to do. The PC hobbyists that created the home computer, the people who innovated and wrote programs and spread software around, created ideas that were built on, that were modified, they were hackers. And that's what you guys are doing. You're hacking culture. You're hacking these relics of old videos and doing something with them other than what they were intended to do in the first place. And let me tell you something. A lot of the cartoons that you guys have pooped, you've made them more entertaining. You've made them more immersive. You've made them more textually interesting. I mean, you've made them better than what they were. I mean, come on. Look at Zelda CDI. Look at Hotel Mario. You guys have categorically taken those crappy old videos and you've turned them into this collection of material that does all this fascinating, groundbreaking stuff in the field of culture hacking. You created culture hacking, and it's amazing. So, for those of you who are resistant to me, stay resistant, because I really have no power over you. All right, and I really wouldn't want it any other way, because the people that I've talked to in the conversations I've had, you guys are enormously intelligent, and the values that you have as a community, the everything. I mean, I'm just so excited that I at least get to try to write about it. All right, no matter what happens, it has been fantastic to just interact with you and to learn about you. And I want to try to pay you back. All right, I'm going to do the best I can. I'll keep in touch. Please keep the messages coming. Please keep the discussion rolling. And I love you guys.